G'day everyone, welcome to this week's video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience with losing a hard drive. So a few months ago now, maybe 2 months ago, just at the beginning of lockdown, I was backing up my files from my main hard drive, which is a big 8TB Seagate desktop hard drive, and at the time we had quite a bit of work going on upstairs. I couldn't work up at this desk here because they were using this to store tools and stuff like that. So I had taken my stuff down, including my hard drive, downstairs to my dining table. I set up on the table, put my hard drive on the table, and plugged it in and started to prepare to back up my files. And I went to back up my files. The cord was running along the ground, and as it was backing up, someone tripped over it. The hard drive fell to the floor as it was running, and as I'm sure a lot of you know, that if a hard drive is running and it falls, it is likely that it'll get damaged. And that's exactly what happened to my hard drive. It got damaged. I heard a clicking noise as I plugged it back in. The next day I tried to get it working. I tried to get files on it because it was lapping in and out, like saying that it was plugged in, then saying it was not plugged in, then plugged in, then not plugged in. Anyway, you can imagine how stressed I was because pretty much my entire portfolio, especially all my new Sony photos, was on that, including my favourite shoot, which was the Bronte shoot, and a lot of the Noosa photos I had just gotten from the Sunshine Coast, and they were amazing photos that I took with my Sony. So I was really stressed out. I was kind of lost on what to do. I was worried I wouldn't get them back. I downloaded a recovery program. I tried to get onto recovering the photos. All I got back was some files that weren't really files, and so I didn't really know what to do. So I emailed Seagate, which is the provider of this hard drive. They make the hard drive. They said you can send it to the Netherlands, to the headquarters in the Netherlands, and we can try and recover your files there. Now, the file recovery process there is a lot better than anything that you can download on your computer. Because it seemed to be quite damaged, I decided to send it off to the Netherlands. Now, this was a whole 2-month process. Because of COVID, the hard drive had to sit in quarantine for some time. I was keeping up with it, got an email one day saying that the files had been recovered. The hard drive was on its way back. I didn't actually know how much had been recovered, but I would find out later on that every single file on that hard drive was recovered. And Seagate actually sent me a replacement hard drive, and they did all that for free, as it's like a one-time complimentary thing. I want to say thank you so much to Seagate. I'm not paid to make this video or anything, but I tell you what, I don't know where I'd be without them right now. I would have lost pretty much my entire portfolio, and it would have been disastrous. This was a harsh lesson to learn. I was always one of those people that kind of thought, oh, you know, my hard drive isn't going to get damaged. It never would. Well, not never, but it's unlikely that it would get damaged, and it's not going to happen to me. You know, it's quite intimidating, all the stuff when it comes to backing up. It's a lot of information, a lot to do. It adds a lot more to your workflow. And I found it quite intimidating at the time. I didn't really want to deal with it. I had always backed up my photos to more than one device just in case something did happen. But in this process, in this circumstance, I was backing it up as the hard drive fell to the floor and got damaged. So it was a harsh lesson to learn, and I definitely learned you have to back up your stuff no matter what. Don't just back it up to a hard drive. As much as you think your hard drive is great, even if it's an SSD, it can get damaged. Please, don't make the same mistake I made. I now have Dropbox downloaded on my computer, and it is constantly running through my photos and backing them up to the cloud. I have infinite storage on that now, and it gets every single file on my computer backed up automatically. I don't have to look at it, I don't have to think about it, it just does it, which is fantastic. Well, here's a story for you. I was reading a local magazine here, and I read a story about a guy, a photographer, an avid photographer, was an ocean photographer. So he'd take his stuff into the water, he'd take photos of waves, but that's not important. He had a lot of files, a lot of photos, and something happened. The antenna on his house, or part of his house, was struck by lightning. Don't know what happened. I didn't really read much into it, but the story basically is it short-circuited every single thing in his house, including his hard drive. And he lost every single thing on his hard drive. Every single photo of his was gone. Just gone. Unrecoverable because of the short-circuiting. Obviously he got things repaired, the house was repaired, and everything was okay, except for his photos. He lost his photos. And about 3 months later, he was just, browsing through his email, and he saw an email from Dropbox. He went into Dropbox, and there was every single file of his. I'm just saying that anything could happen that could cause you to lose your hard drive, to lose files on your hard drive. So it's just important to have it all backed up to the cloud, somewhere where it is definitely safe. And the only time that it wouldn't be safe is if the company that's running those servers, if something happens to their servers, which is highly unlikely. Even then, have your stuff backed up to hard drives. Photographers have a whole workflow of backing up their stuff. I'm building mine now, so please don't put it off, because if something happens, it is the worst feeling in the world. Yeah, I'm sorry for this weird kind of video. It's a bit different to what I normally do. I'm really happy now because Sydney's out of lockdown for any fully vaccinated people. I'm fully vaccinated, so I'll be able to get out, take photos again. Weather's a bit crap today, so I won't be going out today, but at some point I'm sure I'll be getting out. So stay tuned for a video about that. But I'm also going to photograph the stars next month twice. So stay tuned for videos on that. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. I'm gonna do some deep sky astrophotography, and I'm so excited. Yeah, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.